Hey, church family. There's been a teaching that's been popular in some religious circles for quite a while. This teaching has gone by a number of names. It's been referred to as name it and claim it, believe it and achieve it, blab it and grab it, what I confess I possess. It's been referred to as the prosperity gospel or the manifest movement, all of which raises the question, does the Bible really teach that we can name it and claim it? And the correct answer to that question is, sort of. The caveat being that the one who names it isn't you and it isn't me. It is the Lord Himself. We can claim by faith anything that He has named for us. If He hasn't named it, you have no claim to it. What do I mean? What I mean is that Moses surely couldn't name and claim going into the Promised Land, because if you read Deuteronomy chapter 3, you'll see that he had asked God to be able to do that, and God not only said no, He also told Moses not to ask him about it again. In Acts 16, you can read that the Apostle Paul, on one of his mission trips, very much wanted to visit a certain area, but God said no, and so he wasn't allowed to go there. My point is, we can only claim what God names. He's the master, and we're the servants. But on the flip side, we need to be careful that we don't fail to claim what He has named. In Hebrews 13, we're given some words of instruction, accompanied by a word of promise. It's the promise of God's continual presence with us. In Hebrews 13, 2-6, we find these words. Don't love money, be satisfied with what you have. For God has said, I will never fail you, I will never abandon you. So we can say with confidence, the Lord is my helper, so I will have no fear. What can mere people do to me? Don't miss that. The writer says, we can say with confidence. Or to put it another way, we can claim the promise that no matter what happens, the Lord will not abandon us. Those whom Jesus saves, He saves forever. I wonder, are you going through some tough times right now? In your marriage, with your family, or your finances, or perhaps your health? Do you feel like you're stuck in the grip of an addiction to drugs or alcohol or pornography or something else? Do you feel like God has abandoned you? What you need to remember is He hasn't and He can't. He's promised never to do that, and it's impossible for Him to lie. I want to challenge you, regardless of where you find yourself today, to start claiming what He has named. You can begin by claiming God as your helper, your faithful friend, who will never turn His back on you. Maybe you heard the story of the little boy who was playing in the sandbox. There was a big rock in the middle of the sandbox interfering with his fun and games. The little boy wanted it out, but it was too big for him to handle. Try as he might, he couldn't move it. In total frustration, he began to cry. His father, who was watching the whole thing unfold, said to his son, "Son, why don't you use all your strength?" His son cried, "Daddy, I did use all my strength, but it still won't move." His dad said, "Son, you didn't use all your strength because you didn't use me." I pray that we'd remember that the Lord is our helper. He's the one who can remove the boulders of sin, sorrow, and setbacks from our lives. Claim the truth that He has named and believe that He will help you and bring about what He's promised. Amen.